Okay, Devils, happy Friday. Oh, let's see. We got a few things to talk about here today. Oh, before we get into it here, we'll start with Bitcoin, of course. Just as I don't do this a lot here, but when we have a sale going, as we do right now, a Labor Day sale, right? Everything's half off, right? Within a few bucks of a half off. So just something to be aware of. If what we teach is of interest to you, this is a great way to take advantage of some pretty substantial discounts and pick up, this by far is the best value for your dollar to get the entire belt system here for half off, right? It's a good one. And then if you want to get into our Discord and get access to all the premium channels, right, you can get some of these. These are discounted pretty nicely. So there'll be links underneath, but you can always just come over to TradeDevils.com and dig in a little bit deeper. Of course, it's free to join our Discord if you want to get in there and just snoop around to see if you think it's a good fit for you, or maybe talk to some other members, see what kind of value they get from the content. So with that said, let's move on back over to Bitcoin. Okay, right. So, we've looked at this so many times, right? I mean, as far as I would tell you, we're just not ready yet. I don't know what it's going to take here. We need some sort of catalyst. Maybe it's the election, getting that insanity over with. We could stay sideways until we get some resolution there, until we all figure out, what direction the world and humanity is going to go. So nothing here to disrupt this count other than we're just stuck going sideways. And I think we could. No, maybe we get a rate cut that'll give us a bump, but I don't think we're going to do anything meaningful until we get through the chaos of the election. Now, I will come over here to daily. There's a few things here just for you technical junkies that kind of like get off on this stuff the way I do. All right, so this is, we've looked at this count here. Now, I should note here, I'm over on BloFin. They are our new sponsor here. We're very, very pleased with them. Really nice exchange, right? Not to get, before we get into it, not to be nothing but promo. But this is a nice exchange. No KYC, some nice bonuses. Links will be underneath this video here if you're interested. Up to 5,000, right? Deposit bonuses into your futures account. It's it would look like many exchanges you've seen before. There's nothing particularly unusual about the way they set up the exchange, other than, no KYC, right? That's a bonus. Rates are as competitive, right? Any exchange like this that's new, rates are going to be competitive. They have to be. But I do like that they have all of their market makers are external, right? So they're not trading against you, right? So if you're sniffing around for a new exchange, and they've got great content now, they're over here on TradingView here, so you'll see more and more. Whenever I can, I'm going to use them for charting. So here we have, now this is, if we step back a little bit here, and again, I'm just reviewing what I went through last week here, this is certainly, we don't know this is the count, but this is a really strong contender here, that we have this truncation here from 4 to 5 that gave us the 3, and all of this is our 4. This is a floater here. I'm not projecting anything, but based on what we're doing right now, you've got this is just a different approach to a set of median lines here, where we get a lower low here, but note we tag that median line. That's one thing. So you might look at that and go, interesting, right? Wonder why it stopped there. Is it the median line? Is it this fair value gap? Is it this unmitigated zone right here? All of those could be contributing to that, right? It broke the 50, it cleared the 50, didn't take out the high, so now that's fully mitigated. Or, where I'm going. Well, I can look here. Look what I've got. I've got the absolute high to the absolute low right here. What do you think's right there? You don't think that's a golden zone, do you? I mean, I wouldn't set it up like that. Oh shit, I got the wrong one here. Oh, that's kind of anticlimactic. Let me get the right one on there. There we go. Okay, let me try again. Oh, boo. Boy, that was going to be much bigger. Ta-da. And there is the dominant algo in all markets at all times, at all time frames, right in your face, right? I would propose to you they all contribute. They all contribute there. But, so I got median line. I got an unmitigated zone. I've got a fair value gap. I've got an ABC here that's right in the pocket, and dominant high to dominant low, golden zone. Yeah. If you think that's coincidental, well, you're mistaken. So let's not dwell on that. I've been showing that in every chart in every time frame for 6 years. Right? I think we're past the point where we have to wonder whether or not that's effective in the market. So, okay, what are we doing now? Well, that's an 8 hour, and we go to a 4. Right? This was. Yeah, I was surprised. I saw some pretty talented Elliotticians here, well respected. I'm going to say it that way, right? Well respected Elliotticians here, trying to force a bullish count here. I mean, you know, long term, I'm as bullish as anyone, right? Anyone, but to try and force that into a bullish count, it just seemed. Why? Just hopium, right? I suppose. I was very shocked by it. So, and very skilled Elliotticians. God, I was just shocked to see that. But no, of course, now I say that, right? And you know, maybe there's some sort of a diag. Seems unlikely. Maybe, right? There's some sort of a diag or 1 2 1 2 seems really unlikely. But you know, things, all it would take is a big rip, and you know, things get relabeled, reorganized, right? And you reevaluate, right? It's not so much that we're trying to predict the future, right? I'm not trying to predict here. I'm just looking at it based on what I can see. Well, you know, we've all heard the mantra: trade what you see, not what you think. Based on what I can see, I don't have an impulse. So why am I bullish off of this low? I mean, just where it started, this trying to squeeze that into a 5, that's just, you're force fitting because you want it to go up. It's not a good way to be profitable in the market over the long term, right? Even though I'm discouraged. It's like, come on, get out of this fucking range, right? It's just boring, right? For a crypto bull, right? I mean, this is where we're headed here. This is the 7 days. This is, well, that's Trump. We're going to look at the few that have got a kick. I mean, it's a shit show in crypto right now. I mean, have you ever seen it that red? Right here, we'll look at helium. Right? There's a couple that are moving, right? But of course, if Bitcoin continues to drift lower, it's going to pull everything down. Now, this doesn't look like it's done, right? Let me get in there a little bit. All right, so if I'd be more inclined to think possibly here, this is A, B, right? We're going to get a higher B here, right? And that's going to get all the bulls, you know, all wet again. And then I think, right, likely sets up for another move down. It's, again, I think if you're just reasonably considering the volatility events that are ahead of us, well, a rate cut is not necessarily, you know, mean everything launches, right? Because it's already factored into the price. I don't think there's anybody's anticipating they're not going to lower rates. So clearly reflected in the price. So, okay, maybe we get a little reaction. Well, all that would do is just set up the inexperienced, right? To, you know, oh, long it, right? Rate cut. Oh, no, that wouldn't be an Elliott. Well, if you're applying Elliott, right, you could certainly look at that and say, oh, I see what's happening here. And now we're going to finish down here. And maybe we're down here. Maybe we go that low. Maybe we don't. Maybe the Y can be in here. The 4 can be in here. WX, right? If this is the 3, A, B, C, X, A, B, C, it doesn't have great balance that way, considering the sum. I mean, that, you know, you always kind of pick apart what you're looking at. Okay, look, all right, that's my W, and then this is, oh, come here. This is going to be my, it just doesn't feel like it's balanced. I guess a better way to do it is this way. A, B, even if I go down here. So I'm comparing these two. If I did it this way. Comparing this with this. No, you know, fuck, you know, anything's possible, right? It just makes me uncomfortable with that, right? Because it just doesn't look right, right? If it doesn't have the right look, why put money at risk, right? So, okay, we're going to have to wait and see. Now, the other alternative is that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we've got to go deeper down here into the 40s, which is not at all out of the range of possibilities here. This could easily be a 1. That's a 2, 3, 4, 5. We come down here. We got A, right? A, B. Well, let's hope, right? We don't have to go that much lower. So we shall see. Again, I think we're just going to stay in this channel, right? Through the election. That would be my off the cuff guesstimate. But certainly there's no reason to be trading in here. I mean, unless, you know, you're fucking down on the 5 minute, right? And you want to try and chase that stuff, which is not what we're about, right? So it's often, right, the key to good trading over the long term is knowing when not to trade. This is not a time to be trading. It's still in summer doldrums right now. Okay, we're coming into the fall, right, with Labor Day. It's getting there, but right now. Nothing to see there. Oh, Link is kind of a disappointment, right? Looked like we may had a chance here, but that's now starting to look like a 3, and we're headed lower. That's disappointing. Oh, I got ETH in here somewhere. I think I have ETH right next door. Oh shit. Well, we'll do it here. I was trying to do it on BloFin, but what are we doing here? Right, still, you know, again, I've talked about this the last couple of weeks. It's hard to project a triangle, right? When you don't have the D, you know, looking for the E. Is that what we're doing? Whatever we're doing, it doesn't look particularly bullish, right? In the short term. Now, long term, right? That's a pretty bullish count. Whenever we get that E, assuming, right? That's what we stay here. Now, some still think it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Could be, right? I'll change it when I see it, right? When that happens, right? It's kind of like this, right? Okay, well, do I know it's a triangle? No. You know, looking at it, right? That's, you know, this was the first put in my put on my plate from one of my senseis, right? Sensei PK, right? Very skilled Elliottician. He came up with this count. It makes sense to me, right? So, but bottom line here, there's no reason to trade this. None. Oh, okay, right? So I said we're going to look at the two that seem to have some legs here. These are the only things that look decent, right? Of course, you know, that's a pretty good rip in the face of Bitcoin and ETH going sideways. So Tron here is on the move. Now, what are we doing here? Well, the only downside here is that with it's such a big 1 and a deep 2. Okay, right? So the 3, it looks promising, right? It's quite technical. But we got a limit here as to what we can do. Now, so you're looking here. Take note here. It's 1, 2. We're trying to complete the 3rd, right? That could be over here. We're trying to complete the 3rd. This is invalidation here. If we take this out, we're going to lose the impulse. So you might look at this and go, huh, okay. Or is that the 3? Is it 1, 2, 3? Are we doing the 4? Is the 3 here, 3 here? Well, of course, the first thing you might do is well, let's measure it. Right? Where do they usually go? Let's bring it over. Looks like we just got into the highest probability location for a wave 3. I can draw that. Just a couple of ticks. Just a couple of ticks. Just enough, right? So you could lean into the idea that's my 3. Oops, the ABC here is not quite ready yet. Right, if that's my 3 here, this looks like it's A. So that's what I was trying to do. A, B, C going in. Let's take that down a degree. A. One more little shoot up here. We'd have a nice head and shoulders here if we got that lower B down for the C, for the 4, right? So there's the you know, reasonable expectation that the 3 is in. Well, now what are we doing? Okay, well if that's the 3, well let's look at a retrace for the 4. Or a wave 4 template on. Okay, so anywhere in here, got a big air pocket. So I might look at it this way and say, okay, well then. They're not going to want to like get, right, if we can hold, right, often, right, we'll come right to the ledge, right? If we get too much farther below that, well, then this would be the high volume node, might be at the 50, but if we overlap that, then it's out. Now, I'm not saying it's time to trade it. This has got a little more work to do. All right, so what are we doing here? This is what I'd be looking for, something like that. Bring in the C, bring in the 4. Right, stay above the air pocket here. Right? It's not huge, but enough to where you might look at that and say, okay, if I come right to the 38, I'd be interested, right? That doesn't mean sit there with a limit order. It means, okay, let's get a reaction. If I get a reaction, we'll stop under the low. Same thing I've been talking about for 6 years. Okay, right, so that's a contender, right, for those of you looking for a trade. Now, I don't, again, maybe not a trade for today, but I would get that on your watch list. And then, all right, this is the other one that was moving, helium. Now, I am over on BloFin where you can't trade this. And I'm kind of watching this. All of these I'm going to trade on BloFin, right, because I'm very pleased with them. Okay, so I can recommend them comfortably, right? I'm quite happy with them. 1, 2, right? It's deep 2. Geez, I wonder if that's long enough to be a 3. Well, okay, just as we just did. Let's measure it. Oh, lo and behold. Get this right on that. Oh, I think we do it right here. All right, where's the highest probability location for a wave 3? Oh, God, that must just be crypto. Here's gold. 1, 2. Where's the highest probability location for a wave 3? you know, we teach this stuff, right? I mean, I'm sure there's others teaching that, but I make a point of showing it to you so that, you know, measure it. So you're like, God, is that the 3? I said, I don't know. Is the subdivision there? Well, how far did it go? Where did they usually go? That's here, gold, right? It's just that's why we track this, right? That where do they usually go? Right? It's not rocket science. Okay. So helium, okay, I'm looking for that lower. Sushi. Oh, let's see, did we get that one? Yeah, we did. Okay, sushi. All right, here's another one. Oh, God, I'm out of sorts here. I had a couple I was going to show you, but I went over to gold here. So we got Tron, we got TRX, we got helium. Oh, I think TRX is over here, right? Yeah, there it is. Right. Oh, that's Dell. That's another one here. We'll get to that in a second. Geez, now I lost my place. Okay, sushi, right? We can look here. Again, over on BloFin. Okay, looks like maybe we've got something down here. We've got all of this imbalance. Does look like we're working on an ABC. A, B, C coming down here. Pretty good rip. Now, I don't have his full history because it's BloFin, right? This is when they hit trading view, but I've got a rip-roaring impulse. I've got an A. That's pretty clearly a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like a 5, you know, maybe going in down here. On your radar would be my suggestion. Right? That's what I'm doing. I'm not ready to trade it yet, but as we come down a little bit lower, well, again, you know, as we've talked about many times, right? Where do we want to trade it? Right in the discount, not up here. Right? It's premium. That's where retail trades it. Let's trade it where the pros trade it. Okay, right. So there's that. Oh, I think I had Doge was one other that had some possibility here. It's, you know, had potential, right? 1, 2. Oh, can we go for the 3? No, it looks like we're going to roll over here and do it as an AB. Oh, fuck, it wouldn't matter. WX, Y, right? So what we're coming down into here. Here's where I wouldn't want to be taking this, even though I've got some imbalances here. It looks like this has already been mitigated here, so I would keep an eye on that for a tag of the golden zone, and maybe you get a reaction out of that. You know, low risk. You don't need to give it all the way down here, right? Just for if you're just jonesing for a trade, okay, you might get a little pop on that. In Doge, dot, I think we looked at this as well. Come on, where's polka dot here? It looks like that has broken. I'm just going over a few things. We were kind of looking at this in the live stream on Wednesday. Just taking a quick spin through a few things here as we come down toward the golden zone. See, they've all done the same thing, right? We're all. Let's just do it this way. Right, we've got just a big box. Right, we're just going sideways. Everything is going sideways, right? Bitcoin, ETH, everything we've looked at, right? It's just, oh, it had the potential, right? Roll over. So looks like we've got a candidate down here for this. This would be the C. Right here. Again, these are things to kind of keep on your watch list. Looks like you might have to do it. Looks like you have to do it here. A, B, C on that 4, 1, 2. It looks like it's got more to go, right? So one for your watch list, right? If the golden zone doesn't hold, right, we've got, what's down here? We've got what's unmitigated down here, right here. Down before we go up, right? So there's some potential down there. Another one for your watch list. I'm just kind of filling out the watch list here because this is not a great time to be trading anything long in crypto. All right, so we got to let these things bottom out and start to get some legs. Now, you don't have to pick the turn. Emphasis point, right? There's no need to pick the turn. Let the thing react, right? Whatever you're looking at, let it react. Don't be the guy trying to pick the turn. That's the hero play. Looks good on your, whatever, your social media. It's not a good way to trade. Excuse me. Okay, right, so, 19 minutes. There's not a lot more to say today. It's just kind of a shit show out there. The ES, right? This is the last thing that I remain uncomfortable. Well, okay, let me back up here. If we're looking at this count, right? I've been talking about this for weeks now. This is a 2-year impulse, and this is less than 2 weeks. So, which is why I look at that and I go, okay, could it be the 4? Yeah, could be the 4, right? We're just going to do an ABC and we're going to do it in 10 days. Okay, right. So the other alternative here is that what we're doing is we're putting in an X here as we stall up here. I know people think, oh, well, the rate cut's coming. We're going to off to the moon. Well, historically, after a rate cut, market sells off, right? After the first one. And then it's the same thing. I don't think we're going to be launching to world record new highs until we get through the shit show of the election, right? As I've been saying, right? There's just no way. It doesn't matter what happens. Trump's going to contest it, right? Whether you like him or hate him, it doesn't matter, right? He's going to contest it, right? That's the whole plan. That's the whole Republican plan. They're going to contest it, right? And then that means, okay, we got a long wait, unless it's a complete blowout, and he'll still contest it. So you're going to have the courts involved, most likely, right? Nobody knows for sure, but my guesstimate would be that we're going to get stuck in as it goes through the courts, and that means the uncertainty, which is the one thing the market does not like. So you have that uncertainty, and it could be in for a bumpy ride here before we get into the next year. We got to get through January of next year. Now, with that said, we will have to just wait and see. If I take this down to a 4 hour, right, there's a couple of counts here. Is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Oh, I've got them over here. I'll finish here and get out of here. What have I got here? All right, so here's one possibility. It's A, B, C. Get out of there. A, B, C, and we've got an X going in here. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4. This is quite a rip. Like quite a rip coming off of that low. Expectations for the rate cut. Okay, that's already factored in. Now the alternate, right, is that it's going to be unusually short correction, right? It's not like it's never happened. It's just not typical. If that's the case, well, then you can, let's just get that one off. Let's get that one off and get that one on, right? Then we've got a 1, 2, 3, looks like 4, and this should be going, right? And this would be off the board. The ABC would be our low. I'll just push this off here, right? So then it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to have a new 5. Now, if we get that, right, just be mindful of the fact that what happens if we get that, right? This becomes a break of structure, right? What do we know happens after break of structure? Who's going to be buying here? Retail. All right, are they buying in discount or premium? I know that's a silly thing to say, but obviously they'd be buying it. They'd be buying at the most expensive price they possibly could, right? So let me just buy it at full retail plus. You wouldn't want to do that. Many will, but I would encourage you to if it's going to do that, what are we anticipating after that? If it's a one wave. If it's a one wave, right? Now, I don't have the pivot here, right? I don't know where we're going, but if we get up here based on let's do it this way. Length of the 1 projected from the proposed 4. Well, here would be 100%, pretty good for the free draw, right? So if we do this, is that going to be 5? Probably not, right? Anything's possible, but more likely that's going to be 1 of 5. If I get all this stuff off. Okay, if that's 1 of 5, what are we anticipating next, right? Not that what do we know, what do we anticipate based on what it usually does? This would be 1. We'd be looking for a 2 down here. 1, 2, right? Then, okay, tee it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're going. Right, so while, again, I'm not saying I'm right or wrong about this being an X. I don't know. So why would I tell you that I know what it is? I don't know what it is, but I'm just looking at the length of time here going, that's mighty short. 2 years, and I don't even think it's 2 weeks. It's abnormal, right? I don't like to trade abnormal. I'll trade the normie. What does it usually do? Just like, where did these wave 3s usually go? Oh, shit, now I lost them. We look at Doge. Yeah, we looked at Doge. Oh, shit, now I moved them all around, right? Well, you get the idea. Okay, guys, I think it's a good time to be... You know what it's a good time to be doing? Studying, right? So when the market does start to move and we get through the upcoming months and we get into next year, boy, are you going to be ready to rip, right? Because by then, I think we'll be off and looking good in crypto. But a lot has to happen between now and then. So just a reminder here. So as I wrap, TradeDevils.com, you can get access to any of this stuff. BloFin, there'll be a link underneath, right, if you're interested in a new exchange. And with that, I wish you guys a good weekend and catch you next week.